Welcome to the Girl Scouts of the Green and White Mountains. Throughout this session, please note the 4 code words. Please enter the 4 code words at the end of the session. If you enter the incorrect words or in the incorrect order, you will need to take Volunteer Essentials again. Our council includes all of New Hampshire and Vermont. If you need assistance in learning who your local community support team members are, please call the toll-free council phone number 888-474-9686. There are 5 camp properties. 1, Camp Kettleford in Bedford, New Hampshire. 2, Camp Seawood in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. 3, Sunset Valley in Gorham, New Hampshire. 4, Twin Hills in Richmond, Vermont. And 5, Farnsworth in Thetford, Vermont. This is our only resident camp. The first code word is honor. You may follow along using the provided links to the Volunteer Essentials and Policies and Procedures documents. On page 2, you will see that troop leaders and co-leaders require to complete an application process, an online application, 3 favorable references, and a background check. Then complete the online Girl Scouting 101 video. You'll complete this Volunteer Essentials training and then follow with the Troop Fundamentals training. Troop Fundamentals is a 3.5-hour course that you may register online. The Girl Scouts of the Green and White Mountains has a corporate office in Bedford, New Hampshire. There's a service center in Williston, Vermont, and another service center at Portsmouth, New Hampshire, at Camp Seawood. The Camp Seawood facility is not manned all the time. Please call in advance for meeting appointments. There are 2 publications that come from the Green and White Mountains. There is an Outlook, which is a monthly newsletter that updates Girl Scout volunteers with important council information. Trailhead is a monthly newsletter that goes to all registered girls' families. On page 4, you'll see the Girl Scouts of Green and White Mountains best practices. A troop will be expected to accept new girls into their troop following these guidelines. If there is a girl waiting to be placed into the troop pathway, a troop will be expected to accept up to the maximum into their troop. If there are no girls waiting for placement, a troop may run below the maximum. For example, daisies will be expected to take up to 10 girls. Brownies and juniors will be expected to take up to 12 girls. Please consider the safety of all siblings at troop meetings and activities, especially younger siblings. Proper supervision should be provided. The activities for Girl Scouts are designed to be appropriate for that particular age group. The safety of younger children may be jeopardized if they participate as well. If non-registered Girl Scouts are in attendance to meetings or activities, you will need to consider purchasing additional insurance to cover these non-registered people. For the safety of our girls, Girl Scouts of USA has guidelines regarding social media and websites and newsprint. By federal law, children under 13 should not be on the internet without proper parental permission. Do not use images, audio, or video from the internet without obtaining permission first. You should always protect the girls by only using first names and obtaining permission prior to posting photos. No one should be tagged in Facebook postings, as this will disclose the girls' full names. This applies to newsprint as well. Please do not use full names of girls or locations in newsprinted articles. The Girl Scouts of the Green and White Mountains is one of 112 councils that is chartered by the Girl Scouts of the USA. GSUSA is a national organization and is located in New York City. It employs roughly 300 employees. GSUSA is one of 145 countries that makes up the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. This is a worldwide sisterhood of Girl Scouts and Girl Guides. The second code word is prepared. I'd like to explain the Girl Scout program. Daisies work primarily on learning the Girl Scout law by earning pedals. Each pedal stands for a line in the Girl Scout law. There are additional financial literacy and cookie business leaves that they may earn. At each level, there are 3 journeys. To complete a journey, you will discover something new, connect it to real life, and then take action. At the brownie level and up, you have a girl guide. These are legacy badges. There are a similar strand of badges at each level. For example, there is an art badge. At the brownie level, it is painting. At the junior level, it is drawing, etc. There is a cooking badge. At the brownie level, it's snacks. At the junior level, it's simple meals. We also have 3 journeys at the brownie level. And again, you would discover, connect, and take action. With each journey, there are supplemental skill-building patches. With each badge, whether it's the skill builder badges or the legacy badges, there are 5 requirements to complete that badge. You do not have to be working on a particular journey to complete a skill builder badge. For example, the girls may want to complete the hiker badge, but you're working on the Brownie Quest journey. That is acceptable, and it's completely based on what the girls want to do. If we skip over to page 33, there's an explanation here between emblems and patches. Emblems, or as I call them, badges, are worn on the front of the vest or sash. These are earned items. Patches are participation or fun patches. If you attend an event, say canoeing or roller skating, you would receive a participation patch. That goes on the back of your vest. For juniors and up, there are higher Girl Scouting awards. At the junior level, the highest Girl Scouting award is the Bronze Award. For cadets, it's the Silver Award. For seniors and ambassadors, it is the Gold Award. The Girl Scout calendar focuses on a couple of key dates. February 22nd is World Thinking Day. This is a day when we recognize the Girl Scouts and Girl Guides around the world. March 12th signifies the birthday of Girl Scouting in the United States. During that week, the Sunday of the March 12th week is Girl Scout Sunday, and it ends with Girl Scout Shabbat on the following Saturday. That week is known as Girl Scout Week, and there are often activities that you can participate in to celebrate the birthday of Girl Scouts. The third week in April, April 22nd, is Earth Day, but it's also Volunteer Appreciation Day for Girl Scouts. October 31st marks the founder's birthday, Juliet Gordon Low. There are several traditions in Girl Scouts, from opening and closing ceremonies within troop meetings to more formal ceremonies like flag ceremonies, Court of Awards, bridging, and bronze, silver, and gold award ceremonies. There are several signs, songs, handshakes, and traditions that are shared within Girl Scouts. One is the Girl Scout sign. Elevate 3 fingers to signify the 3 pieces of the Girl Scout promise. You would raise the Girl Scout sign when you say the promise or the law. Another important one to learn right away and to teach to your girls is the quiet sign. Simply elevate an open hand up, and this signifies the quiet sign. This, rather than raising your voice, you want to grab the attention of everyone and signify that it is time to listen and be silent so that the meeting can begin. The Girl Scout motto is "Be prepared." There are several songs attached to Girl Scouts, and you can do several searches on the internet for these songs. The third code word is sisters. Girl Scouts is girl-led as much as possible. Even daisies can make decisions based on a small number of options presented to them. Would you like to work on this petal? Would you like to go on a field trip? Or would you like to make a craft? Let them vote, let them decide how they would like their troop meetings run and what they'd like to focus on. Older girls can make decisions about how their cookie proceeds will be spent. They can work on goal setting. They can decide which service projects they want to work on. There are several resources available to you on the GSGWM webpage. There are several forms that are necessary to run your troop. There are tips and shortcuts and suggestions for meeting with parents, for organizing troop meetings. There are safety activity checkpoints that help you plan your trip. Every time that you're doing an activity or a trip away from your troop meeting, please reference the safety activity checkpoints. The girls will make decisions on what they would like to do. Please share the safety activity checkpoints with the girls so they can see that there are guidelines regarding the age and the age appropriateness of the activities and any particular safety gear that might be needed and what you need for proper training. There's a handy checklist that will help you to plan for these activities as well. This table on page 15 will help you to understand how many leaders, how many volunteers you need for the activity. For regular troop meetings, the first two columns on the left explain that you need 2 unrelated adults, at least one of which is female, for this number of girls. For example, for a troop meeting of daisies, you would need 2 unrelated adults for 12 girls. For every additional 6 girls, you would need 1 more adult. So if you had a daisy troop of 14 girls, you would need 3 adults. If you took that same 14 daisies on an activity, on a field trip, perhaps you're going to the fire station, the 2 columns on the right explain what your requirements are. So for 14 daisies, you would need 4 adults. 6 for the initial 2 adults, plus 1 additional adult for every additional 4 girls. On page 16, there are safety guidelines that are covered very well in the GS 101 video. But here we have a documented list that you may reference for future use. On page 17, there's a table that defines the training requirements you would need. If you are meeting with your troop and you only do your scheduled regular troop meetings, you never venture away from those troop meetings, you only need 2 fully registered adults. If you leave your regular troop meeting for an activity or a field trip, you would need 1 CPR first aid registered person. If you are going on an outdoor adventure that has minimal cooking, you're building a fire to roast marshmallows, that is limited cooking experience, you would need outdoor adventure workshop. For an outdoor camping experience with additional cooking and the sleepover component, you would need the basic outdoor living skills. The 4th code word is leader. We're moving to the council policies and procedures for volunteers. On page 8, you will see the roles and training requirements for volunteers. Again, in Volunteer Essentials, we just said you needed 2 unrelated adults, one of which needed to be female. To be a leader and co-leader, you must complete volunteer application, criminal background check, reference checks, current membership, Girl Scouts 101 online, Volunteer Essentials, Troop Fundamentals. You need a first aid or CPR person if you are leaving your troop meeting, and outdoor education of some level if you are cooking outdoors and or sleeping outdoors. On page 10, I'd like to point out that releasing girls from Girl Scout activities, leaders and co-leaders resume the responsibility of the safety of the girls. Girls are released directly to their parent or guardian at the end of every meeting or an event. The parent-guardian must come into the meeting site to retrieve their girls. Girls are not to be sent out just to go find their parent or their car. If at any time the adult picking up any girl is not considered to be in an appropriate condition for the girl's safety, GSGWM guidelines for volunteers releasing children to impaired drivers will be followed. Girls are only released to their parent or guardian unless written authorization from a parent is given to the troop leader for the following situations. If someone different is going to pick up the girl, you must have notification in advance. Or if the girl is allowed to walk home, you must have notification in advance. If you have someone who is going to, on a consistent basis, pick up the girl from troop meetings, one note at the beginning of the year will suffice. You don't need a separate note for every instance. If a parent or guardian or an approved adult arrives to pick up the girl and is showing signs of an impaired state, one leader will stay with the parent and speak to them. The other leader will take all of the girls, including their child, away from the situation and call the local police. Let the police arrive and deal with the situation. Your concern is the safety of the girls. Regular group meetings, troop meetings, should be held in a public building. The exception to this will be made if there are special needs of a particular troop member. When a troop meeting or an activity takes place in a private home, the adult in charge will ensure that all guns, alcohol, prescription drugs, etc. will be inaccessible to all of the girls. If the group meeting or activity is held in a private residence, all persons 18 years or older who reside in that residence must successfully complete a criminal background check. This includes any older siblings that may be off to college in another state. The reason is that you may be having a troop meeting when that sibling is home on break. Pets shall be contained during all Girl Scout meetings and activities. And this is not just for any potential allergy situations. There are girls who have extreme anxiety issues with pets, and it's also a distraction. The girls will be paying attention to the pet instead of the activity at hand. If a personal residence will be used for troop meetings, an inspection must be done for safety and accessibility prior to use. This is done through the council office. On page 16, for the health and safety of all of our girls, no person shall use tobacco products in the presence of the girls at any time. Firearms and weapons shall be locked up and out of view of the girls at all times. Every year, a health history form must be completed and on file with the troop leader for all girls and adults that are assisting the troop. Any suspicion of child abuse should be reported to local authorities and to the council office. Please remember, you cannot meet with your girls until you have completed troop fundamentals. You can register online for a troop fundamentals course that is most convenient to you. You will need to bring both your volunteer essentials and policies and procedures manuals to your troop fundamentals class. You will also need to bring a level girl guide and at least one journey, leader guide, and girl workbook set. Please enter the 4 code words at the end of the session. If you enter the incorrect words or in the incorrect order, you will need to take volunteer essentials again. If you have any further questions, please call the council office at 888-474-9686, or you may send an email message to info@girlscoutsgwm.org.